basically search RealEyes Cook. In the YouTube search bar, yeah? Right. So here's the deal. You search RealEyes Cook as 2 words in the YouTube search bar. So RealEyes, then COOK. You find a channel called RealEyes as 2 separate words, right? And basically, with the the logo is like, you got flames. It's very bright and colorful logo. You got flames through the middle. You click on the channel and there's Buster, the big chunky monkey, big headed black Labrador dog on the main thing. Anyway, I thought I'd do something different. This ain't really so much gonna be GTA as it's gonna be discussion time. To be honest, I think I called it book time with B, and you know, that summarizes it better. Reading a little book. You guys can give me a second. I just need to find a find something to entertain you guys whilst I something to entertain you guys, basically. Damn, I'm kicking everything everywhere. Something to entertain you guys whilst I, give me 1 second. Whilst I sort something before beginning the read, so. Right. Alright, you guys can listen to this for a sec.
5.
Just while whilst I roll my smokes, you know. You know how I be. I be B, but I need a smoke to function.
Akinfenwa was warming up for a game against MK Dons for his club Wickham when the crowd were chanting sex offender and he went over to confront them.
Looks like the big guy, Akinfenwa, was gonna confront fans. So why was he being called a sex offender? Has he done some ish? I take it he has. Otherwise, the fans wouldn't be saying that.
Definitely not a nice thing to be called at all, and I see why he was angry, and he spoke about it in an interview after the match as well.
Maybe the chairman came up to me, the manager came up to me and said, that's not what they stand for. I said, thank you. You know what I'm saying? It took big of them to say that. Look, as long as whatever it comes out and it doesn't happen again, then I can handle this on my shoulders. I keep saying that. As long as no next player has to be hearing this when there's kids in there, it can be put to rest and be shut down as long as it don't happen again. So for me, anywhere that knows me knows I'll take it on my shoulders out here, but they've crossed the line. Enough's enough. We spoke on it. As long as it don't happen again, I'm good.
Moving on to a story of a guy that's actually been accused of being a sex offender. It said that Mason Greenwood, after being released on bail, has beefed up his security at his luxury mansion. The Man United striker spent 3 nights being quizzed by police on suspicion of rape, GBH and sexual assault and threats to kill. 2 security
I'm not
guards
surprised,
were
Mason Greenwood,
outside of the home,
you are
and
allegedly
a
a rapist, a sexual assault brother,
security system.
a dirty,
The system can connect to 8 different cameras cameras
Something,
using
something.
4K resolution. The footballer clearly fears being targeted at this time because of the serious allegations that are out there. Someone could pull up to his house. That has been put all across the media. Greenwood will not be selected for the England squad at all either until any potential legal proceedings against him
Someone
are
would be known as a
completed.
legend if they
Pretty
pull
much
up on him.
expected that if he's going to be banned from his club, then he will be banned from the country as well. But Sun Sport said that boss Gareth Southgate has no interest in considering selecting the striker until legal proceedings end. Greenwood has not really featured much for England anyway, but still he is banned internationally as well. In terms of Manchester United fans who brought shirts for Mason Greenwood's name printed on the back, they will be able to exchange them at the club's mega store for free. It comes after the recent allegations and the recent statement they put out saying that he will not be returning to training while the footballer is on bail. That's all the updates currently, guys. I'll keep you posted on anything that comes out, so make sure you leave a like and...
Alright guys, well, I got something else for you guys to munch on, something juicier. You know Aaron Carter, people? You gotta check out a little something something whilst I make my rollies for doing this reading. I got something better for you, something more interesting coming, but just listen to this guy. I mean, he's crackpot is the only way to put it. The guy talks, you know, Aaron Carter, he can't speak a word of truth. Everything that comes out of the brother's mouth is a lie. And I think he wants to pimp out his kid. He uses it like a woman uses a handbag as an accessory that he wants to get fame to. This guy, honestly, he annoys everyone. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you got a new baby, first of all.
Yeah.
That's the biggest deal.
I'm a father now.
Yep.
And I mean, it's crazy. There's, you know.
You know what is crazy? He brought a 4-day-old baby out in the coronavirus situation without a mask, etc., etc., just to show him to the world and say hi to the world, baby, in some Michael Jackson voice. This guy is a Fruit Loop from Jupiter. Then he says how, you know, how his baby's healthy and that's a reflection of his parents. For God's sake, crack addicts have healthy babies from time to time. Doesn't mean anything.
You really understand, like, when people say, you know,
this is Aaron talking.
It's different for everybody. Now I get it, you know. So, it's, you know, he's a good boy, though. His name's Prince Lyric Carter. So he got his name from me because ridiculous. Michael Jackson crowned me the king of pop.
As if.
When, you know, when he passed away, gave me the jacket and everything. And so I figured Prince Lyric would be a great name for him. So in Lyric, you know, for the fact that I'm a poet, you know, I write my stuff, and I love lyrics, and I love being...
Does anybody on this earth regard Aaron Carter as a poet? Or do they regard him as the younger brother of a Backstreet Boys member, Nick? A guy from Florida who, in the past couple years, has sort of become a little bit known. And why? Because he tells eccentric, ridiculous lies to try and get, you know, fame. He's a wannabe Justin Bieber who looks a lot older than Justin Bieber and doesn't have any songs that live on, like, funnily enough, like Bieber does. But Bieber's music ain't classic musical genius, so I don't know what that says. This guy ain't a shadow on Bieber, and Bieber ain't a shadow on anyone like who's at the top of their musical game. You know, he's not a musician. Oh, it's just such cheese. And the lies this boy comes out with.
In my music, so.
You gotta feel sorry
and
for his
then
baby.
Carter.
There we go. He's how old now?
He's 4 days old.
4 days old.
Yeah, so my fiance went through, actually, it was the media reported it wrong. It was like more like 15 hours of labor. She wouldn't go past 1.5 centimeters. And, you know, and his heartbeat kept dropping, and I'm sitting there up like 3 days, like the whole time. Like, I mean, she was She was pretty much in labor.
Before,
it
so
felt like
gonna
for probably
say,
like
I'm no
a day and a half.
I'm not saying that.
And so that's probably realistically how long it was for. And there's one point when
but it's the fact that this guy makes out, oh, my baby's healthy. It's a reflection of me and his mom. Hold up, pause. But you lost a child before. Does that mean that you really, really weren't healthy before? Like, stop being stupid. It's not a reflection of the parents at all. It's a reflection of, the baby.
Next to her, and not before the operating room, because she was going to give birth in that one room, but she ended up having to have a C-section. I'm sitting there watching his heartbeat and watching it go down. So he had the umbilical cord tied around his neck for months. So he's like a miracle baby. He like could have died.
Come off it. What, he was being choked by the umbilical cord for months, was he? And he didn't die. Oh, the lies this guy tells is they're just ridiculous.
It's so many times. And the woman comes in there, she tips her over to the left, tips her over to the right. His heartbeat wouldn't change after she was on Pitocin, which is like a medicine to induce labor. And she literally stuck her hand right up, all up and way inside of her, and took the umbilical cord off of his neck. And then stopped the Pitocin. His heartbeat dropped again because her fluids, she didn't have enough fluids inside of her womb. And then they immediately took her to a C-section. And then they had to take him out right away. So... And then I'm outside, like, just, like, smoking a cigarette, like, all freaked out. Because, like, yeah, because, like, it was scary. Even the months leading up to it, it was like, I don't know how men get, but, like, for me, I got quiet. And it felt like, almost like I was about to perform in front of 30,000 people or something. Like even, anybody who works with me that knows, they'll know, like, I get quiet for, like, a couple hours before I go on stage. And be like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? No, I'm just quiet right now. So I was just freaking out. The nurse comes out. She's like, come on, they're doing the C-section. I run in. I'm like, all of a sudden, I look at my girl. She's crying. I go to her. I don't even look at anything that's going on downstairs. And I just focused on her. Next thing we know, we hear him crying. And then instantly, it was like, boom, on the table, umbilical cord cut the umbilical cord. And then... he went with me for about 20-30 minutes and did skin to skin with me, and while she was getting, recovering from the C-section, the stitches and everything. So it was just a crazy experience that, and I've experienced a lot of things in my life, man, but
not like this.
And my mom even told me, she's like, I can't believe it. You waited.
This guy's such a douche. I mean, I've experienced a lot of things in my life. I've done X, Y, and Z. But this was so different and special. Come on, it's your first kid being born. Obviously, it's going to be different.
This long? She's like, I can't believe you didn't have a kid by now. By someone. I was just laughing at my mom. She was cute. It was funny.
Congrats, man. It's a big step. Your son's actually in the background right now. Making his cameo on Vlad TV. The audio version.
Yeah, I mean... Here, bring him to me real quick, baby. Let me.
I'm about to introduce a 4-year-old.
He gets the. This is the
baby
first,
Aaron.
Little baby me.
There we go. The handoff.
Come here, baby boy. All right.
There we go.
Yeah. Say hello to the world, baby.
Why is Aaron Carter trying to talk like Michael Jackson?
That's important.
And why does he expect his kid to be instantly famous?
He's precious. There's nothing like this, Nothing. I've experienced a lot of cool things in my life.
Oh my God, I've heard that.
I've been everywhere. I've been Eiffel Towers and monuments and working with people.
This joker. Oh, I've been to the Eiffel Tower before. Doesn't compare to my son. Seriously, are you for real? What, you thought the Eiffel Tower would be a better experience? This guy's unreal. The baby's cute, bless the thing. Being called Prince Lyric, I mean, come on. And having a dad who masturbates on, what's it called? What's the site called? God damn it. What's that site called? The one, basically he does it for money. He prostitutes himself out. Crazy Fans or something. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. Only Fans, that's the one.
Nothing like this, man. Nothing like this. When he
I don't
looks
think
at
I'm
you,
going to be able to tolerate listening to much of this guy.
Is that right?
Alright.
Want to say hi?
Yeah, I mean, you're all he's got.
It's a good job that we're back here at this point. Alright, let me start reading this book to you guys. Where were we up to? 464. I went back to my old neighborhood today. Had to go to the wake of this old friend of mine, Bobby Sash. I planned to make it downtown earlier to visit some people, but got hung up at school cleaning desks and shit for cutting out once too often. This drag cleanup lasts until 4:30. Though to tell the truth, I didn't do a lick of work because some dummy was in charge, and I hung out in the bathroom all the while and read about that wise-ass dwarf Alexander Pope. I wasn't missed and signed out with the rest of the crew on time. I made it down to the funeral place about 5, and there must have been every guy from 29th to 14th Street there. I talked to all these old friends for half an hour just as a cover, because I was trying to avoid having to look at Bob's dead body in the center of the room. I never saw a body in a casket in my life, even at my grandmom's wake my parents didn't make me go to. Bobby died of leukemia. Funny, I had a relative, ironic or whatever, I had a relative, Bobby, he died of leukemia. He was only about 4 years old or something. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Bobby, that was Bobby's brother Matthew. My bad. He got it 2 years ago, but had such a strong body. He was always the best at sports, that he kept fighting it off. They gave him 6 months at first, then he turned a trick and got better. Even got out for a while, though it was a different person when... One sec, guys. When you saw him. Then he went back in a year ago. Like his brother was telling me, the line on his hospital chart just fell straight down in a perfect angle. I looked at his body and it was death for the first time in my life. His face was thin and wrinkled, almost ape-like. His hair just gray patches on his scalp. He looked 60 years old, and he was 16. I couldn't believe how skinny his arms were. It was like having the skeleton of someone you knew put in front of you. I left dazed out in the streets like I had just come out of a 4-hour movie I didn't understand. I thought about that face all night, and death. I almost flipped, and I took 2 Reds even to knock me out, but they don't feel like they were working. Full 64. The posh private school I go to is only a few blocks away from Central Park. Consequently, in the warmer part of the fall, we have gym periods in the park consisting mainly of touch football. It's nice in a way to get to spend an hour in the park playing ball twice a week, but the bullshit end of the stick is the walk over there in your corny-ass little gym shorts and white t-shirts. It doesn't bother the rest of the lames in my freshman class, but personally I don't dig the shit you take from the black cats and PRs that live in the neighborhood. They're whistling and whatnot, calling us all rich little faggots. Dig it. I could bust the ass off any one of these dudes woofing at us from the public basketball courts on Amsterdam if it was worth my time, but lately I've been wearing blue jeans over instead of all that other shit and lagging behind all the other kids, so everything's cool. As long as the headmaster don't catch an eye of me and give me another lecture on the rules of the school. Fuck dumb rules. Let me wear what I want. No trouble from Mr. Doolittle, the cat that runs the phys ed here, because he's the basketball coach too, and he never gives me any hassles. But today, when we got in the park, I laid back from the rest and got high on a little reefer walking along the horse trail. I get to the field and start playing, and I'm stoned and goofing on the whole scene, but digging the game too, though my coordination was a little off level. So anyway, I finished up and he toots his little whistle and time to get back for boring Latin class. Not too boring today though, I figure, because I still got a good half reefer left and I lag back again, squat in a patch of bushes and light up to make my man Virgil a little more interesting. All is cool, but all is not cool for long. I hear a sudden hoofing sound heading my way, full blast, and I know it ain't no Lone Ranger and Tonto. Fuck, it's 2 horse patrol cops giddy-apping right into the goddamn bushes. I toss the joint in the back of me pronto, just as one cop is off his horse and standing right in front of me in a fucking clump of bushes. What the hell you in here for, you punk bastard? I think we got a good idea. I looked at the guy, wrecked out of my brain, and tell him I was sneaking a smoke before I went back to school after my gym class out here. The cop asks me where my teacher is, but they're probably back at the school by now, so that's what I tell the man. He tells me to get out of the bushes, and I figure shit, lucky he ain't looking for the joint, but then in that case, what the fuck did they think I was doing? Beating off or something? We're in the open now, and he says to his partner something about me fitting the description. I look up at the other cat on the horse still, and holy duck fuck, it's my little league coach from the old neighborhood, Steve Malone. Jim? He almost falls off the goddamn horse. What the hell are you doing? I tell him in stone dialogue. School down block, go. Play ball class, gym, you know? Smoke, sneak behind. Hi, Steve. Good to see ya. I realize it was total gibberish and try to start again, but he breaks in and tells me not to sound so nervous. That they were looking for some guy who molested some little girl the other day in the bushes around there, and he had red hair, so they did a charge when they saw me. Then he nods to his partner and tells him who I am. In fact, he goes on telling him about the no-hitter I pitched to win our team the championship and all, and starts bragging about the smart move he made in that game, having a guy steal third who later got in on a sacrifice, etc. I'm looking at the guy blasted out, still thinking about the grass, and he's blabbing about weirdos raping kids, winding up with a description of the speech he made at the league dinner for winning the Coach of the Year. I was also missing half my class in Latin. I tell him finally I gotta go back to school, and he just nods and waves a tiny gesture and keeps on rambling about goddamn baseball to the other guy who is all ears and starting to tell Steve about his own coaching experiences out in Flatbush or some fucking place. I get into Latin just before the bell rings and put on a fake limp, coming in telling him I got hurt in gym and had to see the nurse. He swallowed it in a vague kind of way. Still full 64. Today at school we had our annual Thanksgiving fast for the benefit of the poor and hungry blacks we hear of scattered throughout the South. Anyone who sympathizes with the injustice of poverty in the South does not eat his meal as a symbol of the injustice. I'm sure it interests the starving black in Mississippi that I am not eating my lunch today. Frankly, I was too embarrassed to be the only cat in the school to eat his meal, so I snuck down to the corner and cupped a cheeseburger. Symbolic gestures are certainly self-satisfying, but they are not too nourishing for anyone anywhere. Somebody is conning everybody else and themselves with plain dumb ideas as performed here today. What happens to the food they prepared today? All that turkey and mashed potatoes would probably seem pretty dried out if we shipped it down south, even by airmail. It would have been interesting to point out that there are a lot of hungry dudes walking down Columbus Avenue that could have dug a free meal. But some of them might be drug addicts and shit, and they'd no doubt make a big mess of the lunchroom that all the black cleaning women would have a hard time cleaning up. I suggest that tomorrow somebody symbolically stick a stale drumstick of today's lunch up the ass of whoever was humane enough to organize this farce. I guess that's the guy's opinions on that. Still 464, and we're gonna finish this real soon. My friend from school, that die-hard Marxist Bunty Gargan, fixed me up on an afternoon blind date with a friend of his big-titted girlfriend to see some old Bogart movies down on Bleecker Street. Bogart, by the way, went to our school for 3 years, but got the boot for bad grades. But aside from that little fact, we met at his chick's pad because her folks were on the fly, and there I got to meet Melody, my chick for the day, and what a strange one. Not bad looking, you see. Just strange. About 5 feet tall, a little plump, long hair with a round face which, with her huge eyes, made her look like an antique doll. She had a fixed, weird stare that reminded me of one of those little kids in that flick, Village of the Damned. One thing I noticed right off, she had the biggest pair of knockers for a girl of 14 that I ever saw. Those jugs look like melons, so of course she too is heavy with the Marx bag, work shirt and blue jeans, standard outfit. Can spot 'em a mile off. Another weird thing was that on the way down to the flick she asked me if I took part. And from the tone she used, I figured to say no, and did. And good thing, 'cause she started to run down how those people do strange things at times, and shit like that, which she read about in Life or some place where they take the new drugs and make them seem horrible demons for the dumbass public. I can see her being wary of acid 'cause of that crap writing, but grass? I had some on me, in fact. I figured all them folks on that scene were into smoke. Then another strange move. In the movies, I put my goddamn arm around her, and she brushes it off and mumbles, "There's a time and a place for everything." Jesus, what people my age go to movies to watch a movie? But so much for that, and I dig old Bogey anyhow. On the way back to the apartment, I put my arm around her again, and the same sliding hand and the same shit reply. I had thought I had this type nailed on the head like at peace marches and shit. I picked up many a rich young commie and almost got raped by them. But this chick, shit. This chick with them gorgeous boobs right there bouncing, and no go. I was getting pissed off. It was gonna be a waste of the day. Shit, fucking Bunty. I felt like making his gig. Fuck, I even paid her way into the show. A breakthrough in my image. Then we get back to the house and we're digging these Dylan sides, and in a flash she boobs her way over and whispers that we should go into one of the bedrooms. Big shit. I figured another theory on Das Kapital, but that drag is usually after the nookie is over. Before I know it, she got me down on the bed with my zipper open and my whole hand up her precocious snatch. She was the most far-out antique doll you'd ever want to meet. In the clinch, she giggles, "See, there's a time and a place for everything, and this is the time." And this is some crazy book, right, peeps? I don't know if I should pull this one down after, reading it to y'all. Anyway, we'll continue perhaps with Windows 65. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, people. I'm off to bed. Need to get asleep, get some good rest. Peace, love, respect. Search RealEyes Cook on YouTube, and you'll find the RealEyes channel. Real is one word, eyes is the other. The logo's very, very colorful. Go at RealEyes Bars, and I think I had Cookie Hopper written on the middle, but you'll see the flames. Anyway, if you don't find it that way, search RealEyes Cook Pot of Paper, or RealEyes Cook Amsterdam, or RealEyes Cook Deal I Am, or something like that. Peace, love, respect. I'm so tired.